Welcome to our channel. Have you ever scrolled through social media and felt a sinking feeling in your chest as you saw someone living a life you wish you had? Whether it's their career, relationships, or even appearance, it's easy to get caught up comparing yourself to others. But what if I told you that this constant comparison is a habit you can break? Today, we're diving into the psychology behind why we compare and, more importantly, how to stop doing it so you can focus on your own journey. Let's start with why we compare ourselves to others in the first place. There's actually a psychological basis for this called social comparison theory, which was introduced by Leon Festinger in 1954. This theory explains that we have an innate drive to evaluate ourselves by comparing our abilities and opinions to those around us. It's how we make sense of our place in the world and how we measure our own success. There are two main types of comparison: upward comparison and downward comparison. Upward comparison happens when you compare yourself to someone you think is doing better than you. This can motivate you, but often makes you feel inadequate. On the other hand, downward comparison is when you compare yourself to someone worse off, which can boost your self-esteem temporarily but doesn't lead to genuine satisfaction. The key takeaway is that while comparison is natural, when we do it excessively, it becomes damaging to our self-esteem and mental health. Now, let's talk about the downsides of constantly comparing yourself to others. One of the biggest problems with this habit is how it affects your self-esteem. When you're constantly comparing yourself to someone who seems to be doing better, it's easy to feel like you're not good enough, no matter what you achieve. This is especially true with upward comparison, where you might focus on their success and overlook your own progress. We often fall into the comparison trap, always wanting more and never feeling satisfied with where we are. It creates a cycle of negativity, and you start thinking that happiness or success is something you can only achieve when you measure up to others. Then, there's the emotional toll. Constant comparison can lead to anxiety, stress, and even depression. And let's not forget the role of social media in all this. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook often show the highlight reel of people's lives, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking everyone else is doing better than you. What you don't see is the struggle behind the scenes. So, how do we stop the cycle of comparison? Here are a few psychological strategies that can help. First, let's talk about self-compassion, a concept developed by Dr. Kristen Neff. Self-compassion is about being kind to yourself, especially when you fail or feel inadequate. Instead of beating yourself up for not measuring up, practice treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer to a friend. You can do this by reframing negative thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not as successful as them," try shifting it to, "I'm on my own path, and success will come in my own time." Another powerful mindset shift is focusing on intrinsic motivation. This means measuring your progress by your own standards, not someone else's. Often, we fall into the trap of seeking external validation, like likes on social media or compliments from others. But when you focus on your internal growth and goals, you're more likely to feel fulfilled. Now, a practical tip: limit social media exposure. Social media can easily fuel unhealthy comparisons, so be mindful of how much time you spend scrolling. Set boundaries, take regular breaks, and curate a feed that inspires rather than triggers negative feelings. You can also follow accounts that promote positivity, self-growth, or even unplug altogether when necessary. To make these mindset shifts stick, here are a few practical exercises that you can try. First, start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down a few things you're grateful for. This helps shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. When you practice gratitude, the urge to compare yourself to others tends to fade because you realize there's already so much to appreciate in your life. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. When you catch yourself comparing, try to pause and bring your attention back to the present moment. Mindfulness is about being aware of your thoughts without judgment. You can use deep breathing exercises or even take a quick walk to ground yourself and break the cycle of comparison. Finally, practice daily affirmations. These are positive statements that remind you of your worth and help counter negative thoughts. For example, you could start your day by saying, "I am enough just as I am," or "I choose to focus on my own growth." Over time, these affirmations can rewire the way you think about yourself and others. So, What happens when you stop comparing yourself to others? For one, your mental health improves dramatically. You'll experience less anxiety, less stress, and fewer feelings of inadequacy. You'll also develop a stronger sense of self-worth. Instead of relying on external validation, you'll learn to trust yourself and your journey. In the long run, you'll find more fulfillment in life. When you stop worrying about how you measure up to others, you can focus on your own goals, values, and progress. This leads to a deeper sense of satisfaction and purpose. So, to recap, comparing yourself to others is natural, but when it becomes a habit, it can hurt your self-esteem and overall well-being. By practicing self-compassion, focusing on your own progress, limiting social media, and trying out practical exercises like gratitude journaling and mindfulness, you can break free from the comparison trap. I'd love to know, which of these tips are you planning to try first? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content on psychology and self-improvement. Thanks for watching.